ACPAC CRM was designed with the user in mind. Unlike most CRM solutions today, ACPAC CRM users are not inundated with every single bit of information available in the entire system on a single screen. You can access that information in less clicks, faster. For example, in our calendar view, I currently can focus on my calendar and the data being held within it. In most CRM systems today, you can see a long list of data down one side, down another side, across the top, not necessarily relevant to the task at hand. You may even have to see advertising on your CRM screen in many of our hosting competitors. Is that something you want your staff focused on? What they could potentially buy from a vendor or their internal CRM system and their job? ACPAC is serious about providing you a personalized CRM system to increase revenue, decrease administrative costs, and bring the level of customer service you provide to new heights. So let's take a deeper look at the user experience in ACPAC CRM. As you can see down the left-hand side, we have the main menu. The main menu is a static menu and is determined by user rights. If I, for example, did not have rights to see reports, that button simply would not be there. Let's start at the bottom and discuss some of the buttons. The homepage button basically contains a link or a URL to whatever you deem important to your users. If that's an intranet, your personal website, etc., that can simply be set up by adding the link in the user configuration. Above that's the log off button, obviously logging in and logging out with a secure password. Reports. We have a built-in report writer with ACPAC CRM that we'll get into more detail in a bit. Marketing automation. ACPAC CRM, full version, is a complete CRM system, including marketing automation, customer care and help desk support, Salesforce automation, task management, etc. But in this case, let's focus on the user experience in task management and calendaring. Team CRM, which I'm going to click on now, is exactly what it seems. Team CRM is your ability to review calendars, to review leads, sales opportunities, support cases by entire groups, not necessarily by an individual. So here you can see the calendar for the entire direct sales team. So we know what our team is doing, and we can drill back down into individuals, as we'll do in just a second. So Team CRM is a very important component of ACPAC CRM. Above the Team CRM button, we have My CRM, and this is my personal dashboard, or my personal diary. You can see in the very top, I am logged in as Susan May. Susan is a sales manager, and Susan prefers to log into her calendar of events. And we can set all that up through user preferences, how they like to log in, how they prefer to search, etc. And we'll get into that again in more detail. Above the My CRM button is the New button, and quite obviously, I can right-click on the New button, and I can create a new company, a new person, a new opportunity, a new lead. I can even create new actions, such as a new appointment, a task, create and send a new email, or merge a new document within the CRM system with one click. So let's show you an example here. Let's actually go in and create a new company. I'm going to start with a company called Urall, because I want to show you we have something in the system called deduplication. Basically, it's telling us, hey, wait a minute, you already have a company that starts with those 5 letters, and you're sure it's not the same company. I can go ahead and click the button in the upper right-hand corner and ignore that warning, and it will allow me to continue to enter in Urall organization. Okay. The type of organization. Now again, each one of these drop-downs and all of the captions, for here example you see type, is fully customizable. So if you deal with brokers, or you deal with hospitals, or any other terminology you do not see in here, it is very easily changed. The small blue asterisk, for example, next to address 1, is a mandatory field. And again, that is set up by your system administrator in the beginning. They do not have to be mandatory fields. We want to make it easier for our salespeople to enter information quickly. Put in a person name here. Nice thing about ACPAC CRM also is that persons, companies are not mandatory with each other. In other words, I can enter in a new company without people. I can enter in a new person without a company. So it works very nicely for B2B organizations and B2C organizations. You can see here we've entered in a new organization, and the tabs across the top are all the bits of information that we would keep for that particular organization. Okay? Very simple. So again, going back to the new button on the left-hand side, I right-click, and I can create new entities or actions through one click. Okay? The same exists for the Find button. So if I click on the Find button, I can search for company, person, support case, sales opportunity, lead, and if I had access, knowledge-based solutions. But Susan is not a support person, so she doesn't have access to that. And again, let's take a look here. I'm going to search for company. And wow, this is a big difference between our solution and a lot of other solutions. When you search in other solutions, you have one field to search from. Okay? You can do an advanced search, but it's not the first item that you have. So let's not just put the letter B in here and search for all the companies that begin with the letter B. You can see 22 companies come up. But I can drill down on that information. So let's say, for example, all the companies that start with B in the city begins with B. And click Find again. And you can see it narrows down my search. I can add any fields that exist on this screen. So you can imagine now I can drill down by all of my brokers in the 415 area code that are by a particular account manager that are still active, etc. You get the idea. Okay? Let's actually remove this and go back to our larger list. Find again. Okay. Another wonderful thing about ACPAC CRM is now that I have this list of 22 companies, look, I can take action on the right-hand side. I can merge a new document to all of these 22 companies. I can create a new task to phone them. I can send an email blast, or I can export this out to a file. So in essence, our search criteria is also a list manager. Okay? I also have the ability in the upper right-hand corner, you can see this plus sign here, is I can save the searches. Okay? Companies begin with D. Excellent typing skills. I can make that available to all users or myself. Okay? So now that search is saved. Anytime I want to use that search, I simply go back to it, and if I want to send an email blast, I do that quite simply. Okay? Fast, easy, and all of this information is available in our offline solo synchronization utility. So the same screens and everything else you see are available offline, and the data can be synchronized up. Okay. So back to our main menu, I'm going to right-click on the Find button one more time. You can see I can search for all of these items and more if I have security rights to do so. Another nice little component just above that is the back and forward arrows. If I click the back button, you can see here it's walking me back through all of the pages that I have recently visited. So if, for example, I put in this new company, and then I realize, oh yeah, you know what? I have more details that I want to enter. I can click the back button 4 or 5 times, go to that page, add the additional detail, click Save, and then I've made my change. Also works for forward. Okay? I don't have to research for everything. Another example, a customer calls me, he asks me for a phone number of a local support person. I give them that phone number, and they call me back and say, hey, I think that phone number is disconnected. I don't have to ask them for their name again. I don't have to ask them for that unique identifier. I simply click the back button. It takes me right back to their company or person information. Very important. Okay? The recent drop-down list actually stores the companies, opportunities, persons, knowledge-based solutions, cases, and leads that we visit. So again, you may see in some systems down the left-hand side a recent list, but it's always there. It's always on the screen. ACPAC CRM does a wonderful job of hiding this data, but it's still only one click away by the recent list. So I can focus on my task at hand. Well, very quickly, that is the ACPAC CRM basic user interface. We'll get into more details in just a minute. Thank you very much for joining us on this main menu portion of ACPAC CRM.